Welcome into another edition of CreekCast here. This time we're joined by Athletic Director Chris Woods here from Coahulla Creek High School. Chris, welcome on. Glad to have you on. Not used to interviewing. Usually I only interview Coach Carter, so we're venturing out here. I appreciate you coming on with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it here. When you think about wrapping up a school year, you also kind of think, I'm sure, from an athletic director standpoint, kind of putting a bow or a stamp on the athletic year as well. Kind of give me a brief overview of what all went on in the 23-24 school year from an athletic standpoint.
Well, we had another very successful athletic season. Several teams made it to the state tournament, state playoffs. We had several individual athletes, go participate at the state level as well in sports like golf, track, wrestling, and swim. And it's just, our athletic program just keeps continuing to improve and get better. And we're just really excited about all the things that's going on.
You've been at Coahulla Creek High School for several years now in your role as athletic director. Uh, I remember my first year being involved with the football program in any capacity was back during 2019. I think they only won 2 games that year. The year before they won 1 game. The years prior to that, they hadn't won a game in a few
Right.
years. How have you seen the team progress, the football program in general, during your time as the AD?
Well, I think it started. My first year here was Coach Bagley, Caleb Bagley's first year. I think he did a really good job of kind of helping us get an identity and a direction. He came in and really pushed hard work. He instilled a good work ethic in our kids, and made the weight room important. And that was really kind of the beginning of where we're at now. And then, Coach Wilson came after him and really kind of fine-tuned that and used his wealth of knowledge and expertise and experiences to, take that even further. And then now Drew's come along, and he's just got a lot of passion and enthusiasm, and I really like his sense of community. He's all about community and getting involved, and so it's just he's continuing to just progress everything forward in a good direction.
Yeah, I think Coach Bagley probably doesn't get enough credit.
Yes.
He if you look at his record, wins and loss wise, obviously it's not going to be something that jumps off the page at you, but really that kind of helped lay the foundation
It
for
really
where the
it
team is
did.
at now. Coach Bagley hired both Coach Wilson as well as Coach Carter,
Yes.
the head coaches who have followed um, from him. So yeah, shout out to Coach Bagley. I definitely think that he doesn't get a lot of credit for where they're at now, but perhaps he should. So speaking of coaching, when I was growing up, going through elementary, middle school, I remember you being a middle school coach over at Westside Middle. In the Whitfield County school system. That was my first experience meeting you. You did that for several years before transitioning into your role now as an AD. What do you think is harder, being a coach or an athletic director?
They both have challenges and they both have great things about them, but I would say definitely coaching is harder, um, at least in my experience, because our coaches here make my job easy. My job here as an athletic director is it's a lot of fun, and we've got great coaches I get to work with that just make it fun to come to work every day. Uh, but the coaches have so much that they have to worry about is from not just coaching our kids up and worrying about the X's and O's. It's ordering uniforms, getting pregame meals together, watching game film, breaking down that. There's just so much that they have to do on a daily basis that it can be a lot and it can be tiring.
I'm assuming you don't miss that aspect of
Not at all. No, no.
it. You know, as an AD, what do you believe the role is in supporting a football program, as you've done here over the last several years?
And I think the biggest thing is just being available, being there for the coaches and trying to do what we can to support them and provide them with whatever resources that they need, whether it be equipment, you know, facilities, all those things that, we're trying to do to help better this place and, provide a better experience for our kids and our coaches. Just trying to manage our athletic budget in a responsible way so that we can afford to, give back to some of those programs and provide them with the things that they need.
One of the big things that happened here in the last year that I think was a really big deal. I know it was kind of a county-wide initiative, but getting the turf on the football field. Um,
Absolutely.
what did you play any role in that? What was kind of the county's communication behind that?
They kept us in the loop and, they got our input on things that we wanted and how we wanted it laid out and, the design and those things. But as far as, just the actual financing of it and the construction of it, it was all, contracted out. But, we did have a big part and, big say so in, the design and the look of it.
Yeah, and it's definitely a sight to behold if you haven't been out to a Creek football game or a soccer game here during the 23-24 school year. If you haven't been, we'd love for you to come out to one this fall as the Colts get it cranked up. Um, what has been your favorite moment thus far as the AD on from Friday Night Lights at the Creek in Varnell?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple that stick out to me. One is, the going down to Sandy Creek and playing in our first state football playoff game. We knew going into that game we were behind the eight ball, but when you get down there and you see the both teams on the field and you just see the size difference and just the athletes and that was eye opening for a lot of people. But probably my favorite memory is got to be when we beat Northwest. It was such a good game. Not just beating them, but just the game itself was just a hard fought battle, and it was just an exciting game to be a part of.
Yeah, triple overtime. I'm sure no one will soon forget that up in our area. Only 7 miles apart, the two high schools are. I did want to bring this up. This wasn't in the questions that I sent over to you, but I did want to ask you about this. Last year, you were recognized as the region athletic director of the year, and I just wanted to ask kind of what that meant to you to be able to be rewarded with such a prestigious award. I'm sure you've put a lot of time and effort into your time as the AD. What did it mean to kind of see all that work come to fruition with that award?
Yeah, it was definitely an honor. It's always nice to be recognized by your peers, and we work with a great group of ads and principals in our region, and it's a joy to work with them, and they're all great, and it was very humbling to be recognized by them.
And last question here for you. You're kind of a little bit of a glue piece now when it comes to the administration. We've got a new principal. I know Mr. Crossan is now leaving to take the athletic director job at Northwest Whitfield. We'll forgive him for that.
Yes.
But you're kind of the old hat there now when it comes to from an administration standpoint. What's it going to be like this year? Kind of having things jostled around with Mr. Martis retiring and Mr. Crossan moving to another high school.
Yeah, it's I'm optimistic and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously we're going to miss those guys. Mr. Martis has been such a huge part of this school and and the reason it is where it is today. But he's not going to be easily replaced at all. But we're looking forward to the new people coming in, and I think sometimes having a fresh set of eyes and a new outlook on things could be a good thing. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Miss Sloan coming in. I know everybody should be familiar with her
Yeah.
from who her son is, Case Kinnaman. Several awards. Everybody know who Case is at the Creek. So I know she's excited to be there, and we're excited to have her. I'm excited because now her husband Brad, who was our
Yeah,
videographer for every game, he'll be in every game now. He has a
yeah,
reason to be there because his wife's the principal. So I'm excited from that
absolutely.
standpoint as the director of media, having kind of those eyes and ears behind the camera down on the sidelines as up in the booth calling the games. But Chris, thank you for coming on with us on this episode of CreekCast. And I know you're
Pleasure.
about to I know you're about to take off for a few weeks and enjoy a little bit of a summer break. So don't work too hard and go Colts.
All right. Thank you so much.